we all love video games. But when you play enough video games, there's gonna be some that you just hate for whatever reason. And you just wanna sometimes take that cart and rip it in half. But you can't because you paid a lot of money for it because retro games are really super expensive. Whatever the reason may be that you hate the game, sometimes you still kind of love it. It becomes like this love-hate relationship you have with the game. And I could have put a lot of games on this list, but I narrowed it down to 5 because it's a top 5. You're not gonna hear me talking about things like Bible adventures that I've said this exact thing about because I've talked about Bible adventures in like 70 videos on this channel. I'm retiring from talking about Bible adventures until the next time. But it kind of inspired me. It's like, what other games in my collection do I feel that way? And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about those 5 games right now and why I hate them, but also why I love them so very much. Anyway, before I do that, I'm starving and all I've had today is sugar. And so I'm pretty sure I'm going to spontaneously combust in like 3, 2, 1. Okay, maybe not. That's ridiculous. Why would I spontaneously combust? Oh! I want to thank the sponsor of today's Top 5 Friday, Magic Spoon. As a kid, I always loved cereal, but it was some of the worst stuff you could eat. It was full of sugar and just pretty much no nutritional value whatsoever. I kind of stopped eating cereal, but now with Magic Spoon, I have an alternative. Before they even reached out to me to sponsor this video, I had already been buying this stuff. You are going to be absolutely blown away with how amazing this stuff tastes because a lot of times healthier alternatives, they end up tasting like garbage. Not this. What makes Magic Spoon so special is the fact that it's not loaded with a bunch of sugar, packed with protein. If you're looking for an extra protein source, you can get it from this cereal. And I'm not talking like soy protein and any of that kind of crap. Magic Spoon comes in a variety of flavors such as cocoa, frosted, peanut butter, and my personal favorite, which I never thought in a million years would be my personal favorite because I don't like fruity cereal. I never have growing up, but it's fruity. Even my son loves it. In fact, we went through an entire box before even shooting this video. Oh, well, one is still in there. Click down below to get your variety pack today. You can use the promo code CHODE to get $5 off any order. Or you can go to magicspoon.com/chode. And Magic Spoon is so confident in this product, it is backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they will give you your money back, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Go click the link, get $5 off, use the promo code CHODE. You're gonna love this stuff, try it out. Roll the video! Oh, it's Friday night, don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I could sit here and pick my nose while I watch a brand new video. Whoa, Top 5 Friday, Top 5 Friday tonight. Now that I'm full of cereal, I can actually, hopefully not explode and get through this Top 5 Friday. That's actually gonna be on Friday. I don't know that. Anyway, I'm not gonna ramble in this video. I usually ramble on Top 5 Friday to get it to 10 minutes because it seems to always do better when it gets to 10 minutes. It's not an ad thing, because actually you only have to get it to 8 minutes to put multiple ads in it. It's they changed that a while back. No, just for whatever reason, like it always seems like 10 minutes, it has to be that sweet spot. A lot of times I will just completely ramble. Melvor doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when I ramble. He's like, oh, well, you're rambling. Well, of course I'm rambling. I'm trying to get the damn thing to 10 minutes, you stupid Claude. You Claude, if you actually made a video, maybe you would know that. So number 5 on the list is Pac-Man on the Atari 2600. Dog crap. This is what this game is. It sucks. It's objectively bad. I really hate using the word objectively to describe a subjective thing like the love of a video game, but objectively this is a terrible, terrible game. You take the arcade of Pac-Man and you stack it up against this. It's not even dollar store tree version. It's back alley, drug-infested needle trash can version. But I was playing this like at a time when this is all I had. This is before the Atari ST. This was before NES, obviously. And my grandmother and I played a lot of Atari, and this was one of the games that I played. and we played it together a lot. And the sound effects are totally ingrained in my head forever. It's sold with Atari, not for resale. Hey, I got news for you. It shouldn't have been sold at all. The game didn't deserve to be released. With that said, I kind of still like it. I can only play it for like a couple minutes though. Oh, so you want to talk about the good old days. Me, Chris, renting a video game, and sometimes renting a movie. One of the movies we'd rent all the time was Home Alone. And when you watched the movie as a kid, you always had to rent the game. And my God, it's awful. The game only lasts like 20 minutes, and all you do is you run around in this house, you lay down all these little booby traps, okay, and they get stuck in the booby traps for a couple seconds and go, I'm stuck in a booby trap. They pop out of the trap and still continue to chase you. You're just doing that for 20 minutes. It's an endurance run, and I can't stand games that are an endurance run, waiting for that 20 minutes to be over with as quickly as possible so you can just beat the game. But it's like at the same time, it's like, why would you want it to be done that quickly? Why would you waste your time playing a game that you just want it to be over as soon as possible? But we were just so obsessed with Home Alone, and I remember when we first rented the game, I still kind of got a little bit of a kick out of it, but then I'm like, no, this sucks. But now, as a defeated old man, sometimes I look at games like this and I'm like, yeah, it sucked back then, but my God, that was such a more simpler time, right? When the worst thing in the world was just renting a bad Nintendo game for the weekend. That's the worst thing you had to worry about. And in that perspective, it's not so bad. My dad had an Atari ST, which means that I got to play video games on that at home. And one of the ones I used to play a lot was Batman. Now, this one isn't based on the movie, it's before that. It's more like on the comic. So when you're playing the game, it's like you're playing a comic. I just really remember this being one of the first games where it really felt like there was a kind of a bigger world to kind of like explore and find secrets in. Where can I go? What does this do? What does this item do? Where does this door lead to? How do I even do this thing? And so it really got my brain kind of firing, and this is one of the first games I ever had that kind of feeling with. The downside is that it's not that great. The biggest thing that really just kind of killed this for me, your health continues to deteriorate. And so every time you flip to the menu screen, you see your face basically melting where there's like skull underneath it. And when your face melts all the way down, you're dead. So you constantly have to get like food and items and stuff to replenish it constantly. It's like Adventure Island in a sense, but not as good. And this one you have to pause the game, go to the menu section, take your mouse, move it over to a banana, put the banana on your head, restore your health. It is such a buzzkill when you're just trying to play the game and you're constantly having to just stop what you're doing and do something that really, I mean, why? Why did that need to be a mechanic in the game? Why did you need to have to do that? I had a lot of fun with it, and it kind of really kind of opened my eyes in terms of like what games could do. But at the same time, it just had this huge flaw that made me just so frustrated with it. One thing I loved as a kid was Godzilla movies. So obviously, I had to rent a Godzilla game. Oh, now this game. Okay, you are obviously Godzilla or Mothra. I never understood that. She's like throwing her wings. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. It is fun going through the levels and just basically punching everything, kicking everything, and it was really fun. But it does have a lot of things in it that kind of sucks too, and it really kind of turned me off. First of all, man, it does get repetitive, and the stages, there's not a lot of variety in them. I didn't mind the boss fights. When you go to fight a monster, you're up against a black screen, which I thought it could have been a little bit more graphically interesting, sure. But I kind of liked fighting the monsters. That was actually my favorite part of the game, and I still like that a whole bunch. It's the stages that really kind of, after a while, it really starts to kind of grind on you, and you're like, can we do something different? Looking back on this is a game that I really like, but also, my God, after about 15 minutes, I'm kind of done with it. Love-hate? Absolutely. Nostalgic memories? Absolutely. Do I play it often? Not really. oh man, these games really piss you off and they're rage-inducing. Now that I think about it, they're not really that rage-inducing, especially Godzilla. It's just like, eh. This one, however, absolutely pisses me off. Frustrates the hell out of me. No, it's not Battletoads, although I could have easily put that on this list. I want to hear the guesses. What's the guess? I need you to guess. Put in the comment section what you think this game is going to be. Empire Strikes Back on the NES. Cannot tell you how obsessed I was with the AT-AT walkers, the AT-ATs, if you want to call them that. Oh my God, I could not rent this game quick enough. So we rented it. I finally get to fight AT-AT walkers. Are you kidding me? And so I can really still feel the excitement that I felt that day of renting this game. And that's really kind of is what's driving a lot of the nostalgia with this. I can still kind of have those feelings. It's really sort of tangible in a way. This game is fun-ish, but it's not at the same time. I don't even know how to explain it. First of all, the jumping mechanics are awful. And that's one thing that just really kills the game for me. It really sucks to have to jump. It's just wonky, extremely wonky, especially when there's places where you have to really be careful with your platforming, whether it be at Hoth or, God, once you get to Dagobah, forget about it. You don't even feel like controlling it half the time. The graphics are pretty good, I mean, for an NES game. I mean, they're adequate for sure, but it really is the gameplay that really is just super frustrating. And I mean frustrating, really pisses me off. By the time I get to Dagobah, I've had it, and I'm really mad, and I just shut it off. But when I am playing, I'm just rushed with this feelings of nostalgia, and that really is what brings me to love a lot of this stuff. It's the nostalgia, and I know that nostalgia is probably an overplayed term and word and just concept on this channel and many other channels that deal with retro games, but it's the backbone of what we do. These games are amazing in themselves, you know, maybe not this particular one, but you know, all the other ones that I have in my collection, well, a lot of them anyway. But it's really those memories and those feelings that you have associated with it. And I see games like this, and yeah, it's frustrating, it pisses me off, but also I'm able to unlock memories in my brain that otherwise I wouldn't be able to do. I can still feel the sheer joy of putting this in for the first time and how excited I was. And the people that were around me, my grandparents, my grandfather who was still alive, you know, I can still remember all that stuff just by putting in a piece of plastic in a Nintendo. And that's a very powerful thing. And so a big reason why I have all this plastic sitting around on my shelf is because of all the good things I associate with it, not because of, well, I just want to own plastic. Maybe this was a terrible, terrible video topic, and I'll probably never do it again, but I don't know. I recorded it, and so it's going up. Anyway, what are games that you love and also hate at the same time? If you have any. I'm gonna spontaneously combust again now. Poof.